All right, latest proposal by the government to tax your principal residence. Trudeau wants to come after your home equity. So Trudeau sat down. It was a video with a guy by the name of Paul Kershaw, left-wing socialist radical, NDP supporter for sure. And this guy founded a group called Generation Squeeze, which advocates for housing affordability. And they were discussing taxing your principal residence. Why not? They've taxed everything else to death. And this is the last thing left to tax here. So this is from Generation Squeeze's website. It says, "We believe it's time to protect real shelters, not tax shelters. The first step is putting a price on housing and equity by adding a modest surtax on homes valued at more than $1 million. Now, of course, it always starts with a modest surtax. But if you recall, the property transfer tax, the PTT, was introduced way back in 1987 as a luxury tax to curb speculative buying. Now, of course, that's never been adjusted for the higher prices. And speculative buying, does that sound familiar to you? We've had the speculation and vacancy tax, the foreign buyers tax, the empty homes tax. EB wants to bring in another speculation tax here. I mean, it's all just a big tax grab. It's not going to help with housing affordability. In fact, it's going to make homes more expensive. But Generation Squeeze claims the tax would only affect the top 12% of homeowners, and it's necessary to make housing more affordable for younger Canadians. Well, the tax impacts homes over $1 million. In Vancouver, the median home price is just over $1.2 million. So this is going to impact a lot more than 12% of homeowners in Vancouver. Their pitch is simple. While people work hard for their wages and pay income taxes, homeowners can watch their properties appreciate in value tax-free. In other words, they don't want to see people getting rich sitting on their assets. They want to see you struggle like they are. And what I've told you guys, if you want to get ahead, you're going to have to own your home first and foremost. You're going to have to get a career. You're going to have to invest in the stock market. But these guys don't seem to believe in any of that. They seem to think the government is there to hold your hand and coddle you and gift you a free house, I guess. I mean, the whole thing is a pipe dream. But on paper, it sounds like a Robin Hood style solution. Tax the wealthy, help the struggling. But I think if you dig deeper, you're going to see the cracks in this plan here. So imagine working hard all your life. You scrape together every penny to pay off your mortgage. You finally achieve financial security. And now the government wants to introduce a tax on the equity you've built in your home. And this is a real proposal. It's been discussed by the Liberals. Trudeau and our finance minister here, Chrystia Freeland, let's face it, they've basically bankrupted Canada, and this is the last thing left to tax. So this tax would impact and target older Canadians, those who have worked to pay off their homes. They've played by the rules, they've paid their taxes, they've done everything right. But remember, these people, they're not really sitting on liquid wealth. These are paper gains. They're unrealized gains. You're not going to see those unless you sell the roof over your head. These are retirees living on fixed incomes, relying on their homes as a safety net. These are not speculators and real estate tycoons. Now, critics, myself included, argue the tax isn't about fairness. It's really about punishing success. That's what this is really all about. Homeowners in Canada are already heavily taxed. Municipal property taxes, carbon taxes, GST on renovations and new builds. If you sell your rental property, you're not going to get the principal residence exemption. You're going to have capital gains on the value. Used to be 50%. They've now raised it to 68%, which is absolutely insane. But of course, proponents of this tax argue that that's going to cool home prices. It's going to make housing more affordable for younger generations. It's not. Let's be realistic here. This is a complex issue. It has to do with supply, interest rates, increasing demand in urban centers. Taxing homeowners won't magically create more homes or lower construction costs. Matter of fact, it could do the opposite. I could see these homeowners deciding that they don't want to cash out. They're not going to sell. They will sit tight and hold on to these properties, which could actually constrain supply further and drive up home prices. Instead of targeting homeowners, policymakers here should focus on solutions that actually address the root causes of this. And that is increasing the supply, streamlining zoning regulations, and incentivizing developers to build affordable homes. I've been saying this for many years now. You need to get government out of the way and get some product built here, get some shovels in the ground. So at the end of the day, Canadians have to ask themselves, what kind of society do we want to build? Do we want to encourage independence and reward success, or do we want to punish those that achieve financial stability? That's what this is really about. So, last point here, if you are concerned about the prospects of a home equity tax, let's face it, Trudeau is cooked, okay? Poilievre is going to be the next prime minister. Even in BC now, which is usually the left coast, it votes socialist. But even in BC, we've seen a blue conservative wave here. I think the political tides are turning here. And so for that reason, I'm not overly concerned. But if you keep voting these socialists and these lefties in, I could see something like this being brought in. I would never put it past this government or Mr. Trudeau here. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. Hit that green icon if you want to book a quick Zoom consultation with me, and I'll see you in the next video.